Hi everyone, this is Vinod here and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be looking at trends. We'll be looking at specifically what are trends and what are the types of trends. We'll also look at how do we define these trends so that when you look at a chart and when you look at any stock prices, you can clearly call out whether the stock is in an uptrend, downtrend or a sideways trend. And we'll also look at how do we draw these trend lines using a charting software. I'll show you a demo on TradingView software, but you can use any of your brokers or any charting software for drawing these trend lines, which is a very basic feature that will be available in most of the charting software. So now let's first look at what is a trend. Trend is nothing but the general direction in which an asset price is moving. This could be any asset, it could be stocks or it could be bonds or anything else, but the trend is nothing but the general direction in which the stock price is moving or the asset price is moving. Now based on the direction, we could define three types of trends, which are uptrend, downtrend and sideways trend. So these are the three types of trends. That is, if the stock is strongly moving in towards the upward direction, it is in an uptrend, and if the stock is strongly moving in the downward direction, it is in a downwards trend, and if the stock is moving in a narrow range, it means that it is in a sideways trend. There are also like other ways of defining a trend, like according to Dow theory, which I'll be covering in another video. It defines primary trend, secondary trend and minor fluctuations. So that we'll be looking at that in a different video. But for today's video, we'll be looking at the general definition of trend and the general types of trends. So let us now look at how do we define these trends. Now for an uptrend, if the stock is making higher highs and higher lows, then we can say that the stock is in an uptrend. And what is the downtrend? It is the exact opposite. Now if you are making lower highs and lower lows, it means that we are in a downtrend. And what do we mean by a sideways trend? If the price is fluctuating between a narrow range and is neither moving in the upward direction and is not moving in the sideways, it's not moving in the downwards direction. There is no clear direction either in the upward or in the downward, but the price is fluctuating in a narrow range, then we call that the stock is in a sideways trend. Now we can see visually here. Now this high is higher than the previous high and this low is higher than the previous low. So we can say that this is making a stock is moving in a higher in an upward trend. So this high is higher than the previous high made and this low is higher than this previous low. So we can say that this stock is in the upwards trend, and you can see from the clear direction that the stock is moving in the upward direction. Now let's look at visually the downwards trend direction. Now this high is lower than the previous high and this low is lower than the previous low, and this means that the stock is moving in the downward direction. And finally coming to the sideways trend, now you can see that the stock is neither breaking out to and moving upwards and is neither breaking down and moving downwards. It's just oscillating between a narrow range, price range, in which case we call that the stock is in a sideways trend or in a consolidation phase. Now let us look at how do we draw these trend lines on a charting software. Now to draw an uptrend, you will have to connect any two significant lows. Now you could be viewing the chart on a daily time frame or on a weekly time frame, and if you want to draw the trend lines, now you have to pick two lows. What do we mean by significant lows is that these are like the most significant ones or the most ones that stand out from the chart. And now let's look at how do we draw a trend line for the downwards trend. Now for the downwards trend, we need to connect two significant highs that the stock has made. So we can see that what do we mean by significant highs? So whenever it has reached this one, it has faced a strong selling pressure from the sellers and it has moved significantly down. So this is what we mean by the significant highs. So when we look at the chart visually, you will see, you can easily pick out the significant highs and significant lows, and when you join these 2 points, you can get the trend line for the downwards trend, and for the upwards trend you will connect the significant lows, and for the downwards trend you will connect the significant highs. Now for the sideways trend, you can draw a line connecting the significant high. It will be like the resistance line, and you can also connect the line between 2 significant lows that will form the support line, and you will see that the price will be oscillating between the resistance and support. Now it depends upon the time frame in which we are viewing the chart as well, and you can see that the stock price is neither moving in the upward direction or neither breaking down and moving in the downward direction. I'll show it visually using a chart, so it becomes much more clearer, so that I can clearly call out how do we pick the significant lows and significant highs, and it will become much more clearer. Thank you for watching this video. Now I'll show you visually using a software called as TradingView how do we draw an uptrend. So we can see that this low is pretty significant, and this low has also been pretty significant. So we can draw a line connecting these 2 lines, and we can also extend it so that there are multiple touch points. And now I'll show you visually like how do we draw an uptrend line as well as a downtrend line. So here for the first the uptrend lines, we can see that the stock has been moving in uptrend in this phase. So we can pick any 2 significant lows and we can connect those 2 points. So I'll pick this one and this one, and we have a trend line here. Now for drawing the downward trend lines, you can see here the stock here has been in a downtrend for a short period of phase. So we can pick out the significant highs that it made and draw a trend line here as well. Like you can pick this was a significant high and this was a significant high, and this is a downward trending trend line. And we can see here that once this line was broken, we had a significant move as well, which is reconfirming the fact that the trend line broke and there was a positive sentiment, because the overall trend has been bullish, like you can see here. And this is a very short term trend, and when this trend line was broken, we saw some strong action. Now to show you a sideways trend, so this is a phase in which this particular index has been moving in a sideways trend. So we can draw a line that connects the resistance, and you can see from here, or this phase that I have drawn here, this area, this zone is the downwards side. Let us now look at a phase in this particular index where it has moved in the sideways direction. So we'll pick out this particular phase. So you can see here that the stock price or the index price in this particular one has been moving in the sideways direction, and it is not clearly moving in the upward or in the downward. So we can draw a line to mark this sideways phase. Yeah. So instead of drawing these particular lines, trend lines, we can also define like trend zones. Like instead of picking out a particular price point, you can also draw an area like this, because like a zone like this, because we'll have a range, because it will not be like a particular price point and then when we break it out, it will move again, because it's not a difficult topic. I don't know how to say it. I know what I'm trying to say, but while explaining it, Yeah, there is one more thing that I would like to add in this particular video. Instead of like defining a particular price point or a price line like this, uh, some of the traders usually have a small range. So they will draw something like this, and because this is not a particular price point, as you can see from here, but it's instead a price zone, and they would define this because it is not like a particular line and then there is a lot of price action. Usually within this particular range there will be a lot of price action that is happening between buyers and sellers, or usually it is referred to as price discovery. So usually there is a lot of action going on between the buyers and sellers at this particular zone, and once we have a clear winner, we will be either moving in the upward direction or in the downward direction, or maybe we might continue in the sideways direction as well. So sometimes instead of using a particular price point, we can also use a price zone or a trading zone. So these are like, when we say it's a zone, we are actually referring to a narrow price range. Like it could be like 5 points or like a $5 or $10, or where there could be price discovery happening between buyers and sellers, like they would be fighting between themselves to determine who is in particular control and to take the stock either in the upward direction or in the downward direction, or continue in the sideways direction. In today's video we looked at trend, we looked at how do we define trend, we also looked at what are the different types of trend, and we also looked at how do we draw these trend lines, and we also looked at the like drawing zones like this. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to this channel. Thank you.